Hey, Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome for the first time. I'm so happy that you're here. I want to share a message that came through today from the group of guides who I channel, and I'll talk about that a little bit too, because I don't really mention them in detail very often, so I want to clear that up today. But they want to talk about focus. So it's interesting that I want to focus on allowing you to know who they are. But so many of us struggle with focus. Either we can't find our focus, and that's okay, and that's not as much a message of what we're talking about today, or we get so locked in to our focus, meaning I want things this way. It has to be like this. No other option will work. And the team gives a little bit of a perspective on how to shift that and why that might be not dangerous, but why that might not be advantageous to you carving out the future that you want for yourself or for the future of the world or anything like that. So I'll let them share their message in just a second. But when I'm saying them, for those of you who are new or maybe I just don't mention this often enough, I channel a group of entities and they've given themselves or shared their name as the Eihdelar. And it's got an interesting spelling, which I'll put on the screen right now. But they are a collective of They call themselves a coalition of light, so they won't even use the word collective. And when I'm connecting to them, what it feels like is this giant kind of conference room where different beings assemble. And it varies. It's not always the same group, and there are hundreds of them. And whoever has a particular message to share kind of steps closer to me so that I pull through their message, what they're sharing. But there are always gobs and just dozens, hundreds of beings there and representing all kind of the phrases we would know. The angelic realm is there. Very ethereal elemental guides are there. Dragons, galactics, loved ones in spirit often, and guides who assist in other ways, not just my team of guides that I work with personally and in one-to-one appointments, but guides of anybody. So I think guides of you who are assembled and watching this video often. It's just this big conglomeration of energy. Feels like a party, but there's also this very serious, like, let's get down to brass tacks. We want to show you from our perspective what maybe you can change or adjust and how the landscape of the world looks. So that's them. Just wanted to talk about them because I don't mention it often enough. The Eihdelar, that's the group of entities that I'm channeling. And then each channeling either has a specific individual coming through or kind of a smaller group within the group that comes through. So just thought some of you might find that interesting. Anyway, so let's share their message and then I'll be back at the end with a little something I want to expand on and share with you as well. Enjoy. Hello, bright and beautiful beings. Welcome to our discussion today on the topic of focus. Many of you have beautiful, specific focus on your dreams, your goals, your desires, your future, the future of the world, and what you would like to see. And while there is a time for specificity and dialing in settings, there is also a need to expand your focus and be less focused in that sense. And we would like to explore that possibility with you today for when you have extreme sharp focus on something. Your literal physical vision and your metaphysical, metaphorical vision cannot extend to encapsulate other options, other possibilities. And so you have a very narrow perception of the world, of what to expect. And you narrow down the frequency bands that you are broadcasting on. And in that way, you narrow down what the universe can match you with. Let us give an example. If you are someone who is dating and you are looking for a certain person with certain characteristics, and you have a list. Many of you like to have lists for things, even if it is not in the dating world. It is with the job that you want, with the house that you want, with the future that you want, the way in which you want things to be. You can have a list, 1 to 10. These are the things I will accept. And we jokingly and lovingly laugh with you on that. For when you have such a list, you are limiting so many possibilities. Allow your higher self, your soul, the universe, God, all that is, however you tap into the beautiful flow of frequency and energy and creativity and creation, allow that more space than that. Can you imagine if you are a painter and you are given a very small canvas, maybe 3 inches by 3 inches? There is only so much paint that you can put on that canvas. You will be limited. If you were given a full room to paint or a large canvas that is many feet wide, many feet high, you have so many more opportunities for color, for shape, for depth, for clarity, for mood, for interpretation, and for expression. Are you allowing yourself that same space in your dreaming, in your planning, in your manifesting? And when you are singularly focused upon one thing, you are essentially saying, I would like to rule out the possibility of anything else happening. And you don't know what magical, mystical things could come your way. And we are asked often, if I am manifesting, should I not have needs, expectations, wants, desires? Should I not have that list, like in our example of dating? And you should. You should have a list of expectations, but then let go of those expectations. Make those expectations more about how you would like to feel in the situation. Instead of saying, I would like to find the partner who has 3 vacation homes. That is a very specific thing someone may put on a list when they are looking to date. What is it that you would experience with such a partner? What is the feeling that goes under that 3 vacation home item on your list? Is it that you like to travel? Is it that you would like freedom? Is it that if someone has that, likely they have abundance, and so there would be room in the budget for other things to explore? Is it that you like decorating those homes? Is it that you like having options? What is the feeling that you want to experience? Feel that and allow the detail, the nitty-gritty specificity of how that is delivered to you to be variable. Allow your focus to shift broadly in that way so that you aren't so dialed in that you rule out or simply don't see other possibilities that are being put all around you. Thank you for listening and sharing this transmission with us, dearest friends. Be well. So, talking about focus, one thing that I wanted to share when the team was, or when the Eihdelar, when the group was sharing with me the message, the first thing that came up for me, because I'm a photographer, was, oh, that's exactly how it looks in photography. And I want to show you that example. But first, they also gave the acronym, because, everybody I work with, the Eihdelar, my team of guides, we love to break down words. So what I was seeing for focus was FOCUS, flex, outward, creating unique situations. So instead of your focus being so internal or so limited, so narrow, flex it outward. And when you do that, you create unique scenarios, because when you're focused, you're expecting only this. I want to find the red sweater for Christmas. Red sweater, red sweater, red sweater. There could be so many other choices out there that you just aren't seeing because you're focused. So when you flex outward, you create unique scenarios for yourself. You create unique situations. You open things up and allow what is still resonant. You're still maintaining that feeling that the team talked about. When I'm wearing that red sweater, I'm going to feel really festive. You still dial into that energy, but you allow other opportunities to come through by flexing outward like that. So back to photography, when you are choosing an aperture, a focal length for your photos, if you are really dialed in to somebody's face or to a minute detail on a tree, the rest of the scene blurs out. But if you expand that, you see details in all of the scene, and that's called the aperture. And when you have a really small number on your aperture, And I'm going to show an example right now. A photo I took this morning of something that's on a table in this room. So when we have the very small aperture, this was 1.4, we're dialed in just on that elephant. And you see there's stuff in the background, but the details are kind of blurry. When we flex outward and change that aperture to whatever it is, it's like a 9 or a 10, a higher number because we're expanding what we're allowing into our focus, then we see more details. So just liked that example because I thought it reflected very well what we were talking about today. So I hope you found this helpful, short and sweet today. I'll be back soon with another video. Have an amazing day. Bye.